I wrote this narrative essay because it was an assignment in English class, and we had to write about a turning point in our lives. So I wrote about this one time when I was a kid, when my older sister went missing, just for a few hours, but everyone was really worried because no one knew where she was. And yeah, I wrote it about that because it really changed how I looked at the world, and I was a kid before then. I didn't understand that like bad things could happen to like me or people I love, and after that I sort of realized that like bad things could happen to me, and it sort of changed me. Well, I thought of that idea after a few days, and then I just sort of wrote about it. The first version wasn't very good, so I had to edit it a lot. Yeah, lots of editing, because at first it was like not very long, it was very short, and I had to add a lot to it. I'm never really satisfied with anything I write. I'll like write something and I'll change it and I'll change it again, and every time I look at it I change something, so I sort of have to stop because like I can't just keep changing it forever and ever. I have to give the teacher a final product, but like every time I look at it I'd be like, oh, I could change that or write something else for that, but so I'm never really satisfied, but I'm usually get to the point where I'm okay with something. Well, this is probably the best thing I've written, because I haven't written very much, and it's the best thing I've written for school, definitely, I guess. I got an A on it, so. I think I was trying to just convey the feeling of losing my innocence, sort of, as a kid, and I think I did that, I guess. I hope. The symbolic meaning is that I was a kid, and I just thought everything would be okay, and nothing bad could happen to me because I was me. But then I realized that maybe my sister could be dead or gone forever, and that just really, really affected me and changed how I looked at life.
I was inspired to make this piece because I at first made a collagraph, which is a print where you take a bunch of like found objects and whatnot, and you glue it onto a piece of cardboard and you run it underneath the press and print it. So I did the same sort of thing for my print. And I was kind of running short on ideas, so I just did the same exact thing for my personal project, 1-6 weeks. It was different from making the collagraph because, like, for the collagraph it's just a press, so you can't see the actual colors of the stuff that you're printing in because it's just an indentation on paper. So when I was making it on the actual canvas, because I guess the template was going to be the art for that, I had to like make sure that the colors went together, and I used sandpaper and like this window screen stuff that I found in my basement, but it's all like the same shade of like browns and reds and whatnot, so they went together anyway. And I've used buttons and other pieces of my work, so, and I mean, I just thought they looked cool, so I used those on the bottom. I'm not as satisfied with the piece as I think I could be. I mean, it turned out well, but I was inspired to do it because I liked the way the template for my print looked, but I'm not as satisfied with the actual like final canvas. Just, I don't know, the template was glossier and it looked neat, I thought, because it'd been like worn, or I'd like pressed ink and stuff on top of it. So, I mean, guess it looks okay, but I'm not completely happy with it. I mean, I don't think I accomplished as much as I hoped to in creating it, because it's not as aesthetically pleasing as I'd like, but I guess it served its purpose. I turned it in for a grade. That's what it was initially for. There is symbolic meaning to this piece. I'm really fond of looking at the stars, and it's divided into like 3 separate sections, and the middle section is like cloud shaped, and the bottom 2 sections or halves is where I covered it with the like sandpaper and the stuff that was like really texturized, and so the clouds were supposed to be like blocking the rest of like the lower part of the world and like the people, which were the little buttons from seeing the stars. And that's just what I was thinking when I made it.